Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Pentiment, where it's Christmas Eve. You there, boy. What day is it? Well, time to go ask around about the revolt. We're talking to Voislav. Seems not to be home. Okay. Is anyone home over here? Okay, house is closed. Closed. Guessing everyone is in the town center preparing for Christmas. Christmas house is open. Howdy, Big York. Hello, Magdalene. I would have thought you'd be working on the mural today. What brings you here? I'd like to sit with you and ask how you remember the rebellion so that I can paint it if that's alright. Ah, that was a sad time. If it will help you memorialize those we lost in the revolt, yes, I'll answer a few questions. I don't mind. I was a little older than you, so I probably remember more, Magdalene. Of course, Magdalene, we'll tell you all you want to know. I've been looking forward to seeing the mural for some months. Come now, sit with us. Now that you're all settled, what did you want to know? Did the revolt have anything to do with the other murder that happened in Tassing? Oh, the murder of the Baron, you mean? No, not really. I only remember that Andreas attempted to be a peacekeeper in both situations. I suppose that's when things started going poorly. Yes, after Prior Ferenc was discovered as a witch, people weren't as willing to trust the Abbey anymore. Then the Abbot became more severe. He didn't like that the Prior's death rattled his control of Tassing. Still think that the old Prior cursed the town. That's when crops started failing. I don't know about any of that, but his taxes and restrictions and his attitude toward us became harder after that. It was all we could do to live by them, but it eventually became too much. Even with all the restrictions, there was a revolt really justified? I keep hearing conflicting stories about how it began. Uh, was it worth all the loss? Oh no, it was definitely not provoked. But was it worth? I know things were bad for the peasants, but was it worth all the loss? You wouldn't remember it, Magdalene, but the abbot forced us to starvation. We would have died either way. We did everything we could to keep things from getting violent, but the Lord had other plans. I remember how sick and hungry I was all the time. Grandpa kept saying it hadn't always been like that. All was fine until one of the brothers killed Otto in retaliation for finding out just how corrupt the Abbey was. Well, my husband wouldn't let that rest. We all wanted justice. When that soldier arrived and threatened us, all the townsfolk pulled away, except for you and Ulrich, Brett. No, Clara, I'm afraid even I was intimidated and begged Ulrich to leave the matter be. My husband alone stood with the peasants. So many people died. That Ulrich talks about how he regrets that choice. That's why he wanted to paint a mural. Could the revolt have succeeded? Probably not. Your father is unique in that regard. Most of the other townsfolk see the revolt's failure as proof that it was doomed from the start. Truly, if the entire town banded together, we likely could have succeeded without violence at all. But by then, we were so starved and wanted justice so much, Peter truly thought success was possible. There was still some discussion. Ulrich and Andreas wanted peace. Then that fucking Miller protected that... That what? That tonsured? I have no idea what that word is. Bastard. He always hated us, though he was better than us. Thought he was better than us. Ursula, language. What, Mom? It's true. Lenhard even shot Ulrich out of nowhere. It was unprovoked? Yes, Lenhard always did hate the rest of the townsfolk, and he would take advantage of anyone he could. My husband sought peace to the last. He was a martyr to us. I think the Miller shot Ulrich to retaliate, but after that, Peter couldn't be stopped. We'd lost too much. The burning of the abbey was a grim night, and the soldiers coming in. Our men fought to protect us, to protect Tassing, and many died in that fight. We got rid of the abbot and all the monks at least. Yes, and that is some comfort, if only a little. Are there any heroes of Tassing I should memorialize? That, definitely. Peter always wanted the best for Tassing, even if he acted rashly by setting fire to the abbey. I hope you can portray him in the best light, Magdalene. I'd rather not talk about that night anymore. I hope we provided enough insight for your work. You did. Thank you. I'll let you back to work. Thank you, Magdalene. I'm certain the mural will be beautiful. Hello, ill Peter. Go off, Magdalene. Fuck you too, Apollo. Go away, Magdalene. And you too, Artemis. Anyone here? Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Magda. Hello, so cute. The little wee ones are so cute in this game. Up, thank you. Father Thomas? Nope. Wrong way. Go up. So cute. Hello, Mag. Magin. So adorable. Hello, Magdalene. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. So fucking adorable. Anyone know anything to say? Agnes. Magdalene Druckeren. I didn't expect to see you today. How's your father? He's not well, honestly. Oh no, I'm so sorry. He'll be in our prayers tonight. Ours as well. Now then, is there something we can help you with, dear? Agnes, you're old. For fuck's sake. I have a small favor to ask. Oh, go on then. Spit it out. Isn't too much trouble. I'd like you all to recount what you remember of the revolt. I'm nearly done with my mural, but I need more details. I was so young, I don't remember much of that night. Oh, for that project of yours in the rat house. I'm afraid I won't have much good to say about the matter, but alright. Come sit down, Megan. Don't worry about helping with the wreath. Took me years to get the technique up to Mom's expectations, so you're better off not helping. Ah, you always did fine, Brigitte. So, Megan, what do you need to know to finish the mural? I was hoping to ask you more about the revolt. All I can remember was the flames when the abbey burned. What part of the revolt? The abbey starting us out of house and home, Otto's murder. I thought that we could find it. I thought there was an attempt to talk to the abbot. There was, until Otto was killed. After that, the monks shut themselves up in the abbey library. Meanwhile, that bastard abbot only ever cared for how many pfennigs he could get out of us. But don't forget to twist the ends. Can't have it looking like a Christmas hedgehog. Getting there, Mom. I've looked after Marin and Craft well enough, haven't I? I can manage this. Yes, well, after your father died, I've got no one left to nag besides you and that husband of yours. Thank God I have both of you. As a matter of fact, let an old woman have her vices. The Gardner house was a bit sad. York always gets quiet this time of year. But it's... Sir, it's Christmas Day. Well, it's Christmas, but the Gardners have struggled for a long time, even after Peter died. Tessing's lost a good number of folk over the years, and feast days and celebrations make it harder to bear. You mean the revolt, right? The revolt, the murders, that fool Andreas had to meddle in everything. Didn't do too much good, if you ask me. I mean, Master Mahler, that said that none of it was his fault. That said, Master Mahler made some mistakes, but he was seeking justice for everyone in town. And I think your father was right in that. And yet, he'd already meddled enough in Tassing after the Baron's murder that he held more sway than he knew. I couldn't understand him the first time. He wanted to save that old monk. I dare say he saw him as a father. And it was proven the prior was a witch, so I suppose he did some good for Tassing then. I think Voislav might be the only person left in Tassing who even remembers the old prior. That's when the trouble started, I say. The townsfolk saw a monk killed and the abbot was incensed. Then came the revolt and Andreas Mahler happened to show up nearly the day of Otto's murder. Townsfolk wouldn't stand with the peasants. That said, the townsfolk didn't stand with the peasants as long as they should have. Well, I won't begrudge Klaus his opinion, even if he's wrong. Shame had to happen at all. I think I knew the revolt was a bad idea from the start. Old Voislav would be the only one to know what happened inside the old church, now before the fire. Someone like to say things were always this bad, that violence was the only way, but it wasn't. Life got worse over the years. It wasn't like this when I was a child, not in my grandparents' time either. Sure, the abbot was pinching the townfolk, and the peasants were suffering, but to go against the church. Like you said, things weren't always so bad. We thought to make things right. Things got better in the end, right? Even so many people died. What kind of good comes from violence? Never seen Peter so angry. A soldier even warned Peter, but nothing would stop him besides steel. So nothing got better at all? Well, not as I see it. The Lord is just as severe as the Abbot was, and threatens force at every turn. That's life. You can struggle and die to accomplish something and nothing changes. The dead are luckier. They died believing they changed something. We're stuck with the harsh reality. This is all you've known, Magdalene. You've grown used to it. We all have. Thank you for sharing your story with me. It's important to share our suffering with the younger generations. Maybe they can change something. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Good luck, Magdalene. Interesting that we don't seem to eat. When we played as Andreas, meals were always something that we did and had conversations with people, but Magdalene doesn't seem to eat at all. What else is workshop? I wonder if we can do another lesson soon. If it isn't Mistress Magdalene. Hello, Baltus. Hello, Nazio. How are your inventions coming, Baltus? Oh, very well, thank you. I was just showing Nazio how our red house clock works on one of my smaller prototypes. It's a fascinating process, truly. I had never considered that one man could make something so complex by himself. Falcon Towers for investing. I'd love to create something so intricate one day, maybe a new kind of printing press. And what kind of printing press would that be, pray tell? Something with automatically sorted type that would make the process faster. You may be onto something there, Magda. Can you imagine? Automatic type. Surely an ingenious idea if one could ever make it happen. The ideas are still fuzzy, but I think I can make it work someday. Well, I shall look forward to your debut, mistress. In the meantime, shall we get back to work, Baltus? Oh yes, of course. Please excuse us, Michaelin. We're rather busy at the moment. Until later, then. Where the fuck is everyone? The inn, maybe? Hello there. Hello, Magdalene. Hello again, Casimirs. We're finding testings winter. Waiting. Cooler than Würzburg. People are nice. Looking forward to the Christmas feast. Yes. Thank you for such insight. Alexander is upset about missing the competition, but it will be nice to perform for a larger crowd. Sure, everyone will love it. It's not often we get musicians of your skill in dancing. Well, if it isn't Magdalene. You're learning everyone's names during your stay? Last it appears the good people of Tassing are the only audience I will have until the pass is clear. It seems only right that I attempt to put myself on friendly terms with you and your neighbors. How are you finding Tassing? Everyone has been quite kind, and no one has thrown anything at me for my music. Considering the circumstances, I'm counting that as a success. I have to admit, I was quite upset that I had missed my opportunity to sing at the Meistfinger competition. Meistersinger. Members of a guild of lyric poets, composers, and singers of unaccompanied art songs, Meistingers perform in regular competitions often held at a rat house or a church. He practiced so much for it. Yes, it's hard not to view the last year as a waste. You can try again next Christmas, can't you? Of course. Though the older I get, the less comfort I take in the possibility of the future. Missed opportunities sting more with each passing year. Well, you have an audience here, the people of Tassing. And perform for them I will. I love performing for people wherever I go. When I sing for people, I want to move them. I want to see it on their faces. It's only in that moment that I can connect with them. That's the only truth I know. Master Singer judges will rate me as they will, but that's not why I want to perform for them. I want to move the masses the way they moved me. Does that make sense? I suppose I make art for my own satisfaction. Certainly, if travelers didn't enjoy the art your father prints, they wouldn't buy it. Maybe they buy it for the words in spite of the art. I think you're being modest, and maybe you are just making the art that you want. Still, we can't help but be influenced by how we were trained, how we were praised. Consciously or unconsciously, we're all shaped by those who came before and those who surround us. I'm sorry. I'm just feeling a bit melancholy, I suppose. It's the long nights. I suppose you're right. All that darkness. Perhaps the Christmas feast will lift my spirits. Let's see you there. Absolutely, almost everyone in town should be there. Then I look forward to it. Until then. Afternoon, Hannah. Hi, Killian. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Hans. Do you need something? How are you doing? Fine enough. Weather's getting colder. And the family? Healthy and hardworking. Simon's taking care of the winter provisions. He's a good boy. Proud of him. And you know how beautiful and kind-hearted Yuta is. Just like her mother. I don't know how I got so lucky. She's a miracle. She'll marry a good man soon, I'm sure. There aren't too many options in Tassing, though. A few. They better keep their eyes open, though, or they'll miss out on her. That young ox is a good man, I've noticed. You can have him. Not sure about him, his eyes seems to wander. He's unmarried, after all. After the same when Yuda has children, one day they'll be beautiful and kind like their mother. There are worse things to be, I guess. Did my best to raise her right, but her best qualities are all hell weak. Give yourself a little credit, Hans. Kind of you to say, Magdalene. I should... I should get back to it. Until later. Till then. Veslav, my man. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Veslav. I have an odd question for you. Oh. When I was exploring the Abbey for the mural background, I stumbled upon some stray cats. There were a lot of cats during your time. Ah, yes, matter of fact, there were. There were always cats around the Abbey, but one summer they started begging for food. Persistently, the creatures. Lord Lucas swears he never fed them, but I have my doubts. Well, they seem to have made the Abbey their home now. Good for them. At least someone is making use of that old structure. Thank you for telling me, Magdalene. Be well, Vyslav. God bless you and your father, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. How's the weather? We've been prepping for the feast in here all day. Colder than usual. Glad to be indoors. It's been colder than I remember it being for decades. At least we're in here where we can keep our fingers warm. Better keep your fingers out of my dough, Master Bauer. I didn't do anything. You snuck your little fingers into my cookie dough 3 times today. Do it again, and I will wrap your knuckles with the back of my spoon. Don't anger Mr. Mustilla, Simon. Yes, sir. Sorry, Mr. Mustilla. We need enough dough to make cookies for the entire town. You can't be eating it all. Anyway, what did you come in for, Magdalene? I was hoping you could tell me what you remember from the revolt. I was too young to remember much of it. No one ever seems to talk about it, and Mr. Smutilla and Master Voislav, you two were the only ones left who used to live in the Abbey. The only ones who stayed, anyway. Matilda and I had been friendly enough with the people in town. We put it behind us in time. You can imagine the other brothers had little reason to remain. Poor old Edoc's heart gave out that night. It was all too much for him. God rest his soul. Not sure that happened to the others. All gone in any case. But the whole thing is a sensitive subject, Magdalene. Why are you asking? I want to honor everyone who fought in the revolt. I want to portray the event truthfully in the mural, so I'm trying to hear everyone's account of events. For the sake of seeing it portrayed right, I'll tell you what I remember. Wait, Magdalene, come cut cookies with me first. That way we don't fall behind while we chat. We'd be grateful for the help. Alright, Magdalene. Cut out cookies from the dough and set them aside so Simon can put them on a tray. You'll need a good number in a variety of shapes, so don't hesitate to change which cutter you use. We have to have enough for the whole town, after all. Hey, let's try to make the best of it. Nope. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, Why is it not working? There you go. Next. Can I squeeze 2 out? Maybe. Plenty of them. There. Next. Well, not much point in rotating this one. There you go. Again, squeeze a bird out of here. And another one. And I think that's about all I can. I think I did a pretty good job. You done? You look wonderful, thank you. Make more if you want, but it looks like we have enough. I think that's good for now. Thanks for helping, Magdalene. Better keep going if we're going to have everything ready by the procession tonight. What can I tell you, Max? For the Landsnipe came into town before the revolt and warned everyone to leave the Abbey alone. Good things really have been talked out. Good things have really been talked out, or was it too late by then? There were some people who wanted to talk. Master Mahler worked hard to keep the peace, but after Otto was killed... Oh, Andreas, what a shame how he died. We at the monastery were fond of him. Dad said he was instrumental in keeping the revolt from getting out of hand. He regrets not standing by him. Yes, he was. He had a personal dinner with the abbot to try and discuss things, I believe. Pity they couldn't come to an agreement. Yes, Andreas did a lot of good for Tassing, and Kirsau too. Even if the old abbot failed to admit that. He even revealed corruption in our own midst. The old prior, Ferenc, had been doing witchcraft in the church. Still grieved that he died in the abbey fire. I know your father does too, Magdalene. Would it have been best to leave the matter... wasn't the revolt in general justified? Yes, I think so. We couldn't even collect in the forest without a fee. That kept saying we couldn't live with higher and higher taxes. The night Otto died, the abbot was trying to excommunicate everyone for celebrating St. John's Eve. A lot of people thought the abbot killed him in revenge. Turns out it was Brother Guy. He was embezzling funds from the abbey. Till after Otto and Ulrich that was too much, we burned the mill with both bastards inside. The abbot promised to help Andreas found the person who killed Otto. All we wanted was to talk. Instead, you just burned down the mill. You mean no one was supposed to burn the abbey down? Why would anyone want that? We sought justice, not murder. It was too much for Peter. Lenhard was one thing, he just killed Ulrich, but to burn the abbey? When the Landsknights saw the fire, they thought they had another revolt on their hands. Even Father Gernot couldn't stop them. We all fled. Brother Florian saved as many as he could, but Peter was wrong to burn the abbey, but what the soldiers did, that was awful. I thought the knights were supposed to protect people like in Parzival. Oh, my sweet summer child. Rarely does real life match the heroism of stories, Magdalene. Dad died protecting me, stabbed in the chest. Don't even remember what he was wearing, but I remember how dark the blood was when we found him. Almost black and sticky, like treacle? Don't know what that is. That socked one of the soldiers in the face, but another was right there, and... Magdalene, can we stop talking about this? Of course, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset anyone. Thanks, Magdalene. It's hard to discuss sometimes, you know? Good luck, we'll see you at the processions later. Till then. But that is going to have to be it for this episode. Thank you all so very much for watching. As always, I have been Pope. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all next time.